Well folks, I'm back at you with another used book haul, and if you've been around you may be thinking I just did a used book haul not long ago, and that is correct. It was not that long ago that I did my last used book haul from a used curriculum sale I went to, and then recently I had the opportunity to go to a thrift store not too far from me that was having a sale day where everything was 50% off. So I came home with a lovely stack of books here that I'm excited to share with you all. For those of you that are new here, I'm Rachel, a second generation homeschool mama to 5 kids, ages 7 and under. And here on my channel, I love sharing homeschooling content, and I have a specific passion for books, both books to read to my kids, books for my children to read on their own. I love reading myself, just books. I love it. So if you enjoy that kind of thing, then I would love to have you subscribe and stick around and maybe introduce yourself in the comments. So I don't really have these in any particular order. I kind of had meant to do that, but oh well, here we are. So I think I have close to 30 books here, and I'll try to kind of have them a little bit organized. But let's see, first off, I will show you some books that I got for my first graders and different early readers. And pretty much all the books were 50 cents to, I think maybe one or two of them were $1.50, but most of them were 50 cents and then a couple were $1. Like I said, everything in the thrift store was half off, and it was insane. I cannot remember the last time I stood in a line that long for anything. No joke, there were almost 100 people in line. It was just under an hour from the time I got in line to the time I checked out. It was insane. But let me show you what I got so you can tell me if you think it was worth it or not, because I think it was worth it. So first off, I got an I Can Read beginning reader, Paddington Plays On, for my first grader. And these ones look pretty good for them. We love Paddington. We've read some of the chapter books and we have some story books, so I think my first grader will enjoy reading this. Then I found a Good and the Beautiful reader, Mystery of the Missing Peas, and this one is level 1B, so this will be perfect for him. I love the Good and the Beautiful library books. They're just, the colors are vibrant and the illustrations are captivating and engaging. And I like that when you use their readers, if you're doing their language arts program, they're really good about not having things in the leveled readers that they haven't learned yet in that grade level of language arts. Because that's a big pet peeve of mine when my first grader, who is in that maybe at the end of kindergarten, early first grade year, where he has books that are meant to be for his grade level, and if they have things like a soft C and a soft G and maybe even words like way, where it's got the E-I-G-H, things that I don't think any kids at this age have learned yet. And so it's always a frustration for me when the easy books that are pretty good on the length and they don't have a ton of words, but they have these words thrown in there that the kids haven't learned yet. Anyways, so one of the things I love about the Good and Beautiful readers. Next, I got Fred and Ted Go Camping. And this one, I think, it's not a leveled reader, but I think this is one that he will be able to read. We have a few of these as well. And I just love it because we really enjoy camping. So my other kids will enjoy looking through this as well. And then a couple that I got kind of more for my third grader. I got The Magic Treehouse Night at Dawn. We use these mostly for our geography that we do, and then I kind of try to tie in some of the history ones as well. We have the Civil War one and the American Revolution one. I think we have another one that's kind of history related, but didn't have this one, so add that to the collection. Then I got Nathan Hale, Patriot Spy. This is cool because I love anytime I find a nonfiction book, whether it's history or science, but about someone or something that we don't really have anything about. And so I know the name Nathan Hale, I know a little bit about him, not a ton, but I don't think we have any books about him. So I think he'll enjoy reading that. We got a book about Laura Ingalls Wilder, which is awesome because we love the Little House books. And so this one, I don't know what grade level, if it has a grade level or anything like that, but it looks like it'll be a good read for my third grader. Pretty easy for him, but I just thought it'd be fun because he likes the Little House books and I love Little House books, so how cool is that? Next, I got one called Wagon Wheels, and this one I've seen people share before, and so I think this will be a fun one. It's level 3, which, like the other one, will be pretty easy for him, but I think he'll enjoy reading it. And I'm gonna have to look through these books a little more to figure out what books I want to just give my kids, let them have, and what ones I want to save for when we're maybe going to hit that topic or time period in history, or learn about that subject in science, and kind of figure out that, because I haven't looked at them that closely yet. Then I got a Who Was book, although this one's actually What Was the Great Depression. My son has read quite a few, my third grader has read quite a few of the I'm struggling with that word. Quite a few of the Who Was books, and I remember reading them as a kid, and I liked them a lot. They were just fun, quick and easy, and engaging. So we don't have this one yet. Not only that, but we really don't have anything about the Great Depression. So this will be a good one for him to read. And that's pretty much all of the readers I got. So let's see, next I got an American Girl book. I'm trying to build up my collection. I think I have like 4 or 5 so far. So I don't have very many, but I got Molly Saves the Day. These are fun. I'm excited to read these. I haven't decided when I'm gonna do these yet, but I think my idea is that I'm gonna collect as many as I can, and maybe so the reason I don't have any more is because I didn't start collecting them until my 4th child is my only daughter. And before she was born, we only had boys. I wasn't sure if I wanted to get them and read them to my boys, or if it felt like it was too girly. And I imagine I'll read them to my boys too. I think they'll enjoy them. I don't think other than being about a girl, I don't think they're girly at all. Let me know if you disagree, if you have an opinion on that. But anyways, I'm thinking I'll do them maybe in her kindergarten or 1st grade year, have them as something we read together, and then whatever brothers want to take part, they can. Okay, next, I'm really excited about this. I found a Little Women abridged version, and it just looks so pretty. I love books that have the little bookmark thingy. This one was the one that was $150, and I think this is the only one that was that much. But I actually just read Little Women, the full-length version, for the first time myself in the last couple weeks, and I loved it. It was so good. So this will be fun to read to my kids. I'm not sure when, but I just thought it was a really fun abridged copy. But this one looked really fun. But I really haven't read through it at all, so I'd have to actually look through it a little bit and figure out how much I like it, how true it stays to the actual text. Next, I got some math books, and I think I have 2 in this series. I don't really know what the series is called, the Circumference series, I guess. But I got Circumference and the Dragon of Pi, Circumference and the Great Knight of Angleland, and Circumference and All the King's Tens. And so these are so fun. There's just these stories. So for one, they're fun because they're Middle Ages with knights and all that. And then it's a fun story that even if it wasn't anything mathematical, it'd still be a fun story. But the math stuff is just kind of added bonus. And it's just got like some fun play on word kind of things with the names too, where I'm trying to see if I can find any of the examples. But like I feel like one of them, the name was, the person's name, one of the books was Diameter. Just that kind of thing where it's just fun. But it's got engaging illustrations. And these, no, they're fairly, I don't exactly, look at that, isn't that cool? They're fairly advanced, not advanced, but I don't really know what grade level they're meant for, but it seems like the topics in these are mid-elementary and up. I think, yeah, it seems like they're maybe 3rd grade through 6th, maybe even more into middle school, but these are really fun, and so I was happy to find them to add to the collection. Then next, I got this Presidents of the United States book, and one thing that's really cool about it is that it goes all the way to Trump, which is neat because most of the presidents books I have are pretty old because I buy them all used. And I mean, I think I have one that it doesn't go beyond George W. Bush. That's not that recent. So that'll be nice because I don't think I have any other books that make it all the way to Trump. So that's nice. It goes farther than the others. But this is perfect because it's just got one page about each president, has a few facts, a short little snippet about them. And it's perfect because the other books I have about the presidents have a lot more information where it's too much to read to my kindergartner or preschooler. And wow, I'm really struggling today. I don't have a kindergartner. The other ones I have are too much to read to my first grader and preschooler and expect them to really be listening and understanding and retaining much of anything. So this will be good to read either in addition to it or maybe just instead of some of the other books I'm reading from. Next, I got this Georgia Colony book, which is great because we are living in Georgia right now for the next couple of years for my husband's work. And so I love learning about geography and all over the country and that kind of thing, but especially when we can learn about places that we are, that we visit, that's just so great. And I think we've read a couple of these True books before, and I remember liking them, but it's got a pretty good amount of information, but yet it's not like overwhelming. So that'll be fun to read to my older kids. Next I got the story of Stagecoach Mary Field. I've heard of Stagecoach Mary before, but I don't know a lot about her. I think it was a short snippet in history or something. So this will be really fun, and it's got really wonderful illustrations. So I enjoy the Wild West and that kind of stuff, and with all my boys, they really love that too. And then what else I got? This one's kind of similar. It's Pecos Bill, and this one, I know a song. Who is it by? I don't know. There's these two brothers, and they sing these like folksy songs, and one of the songs they sing talks about the legendary Pecos Bill. And so I saw it and recognized it from the song. So I'm kind of curious. It looks kind of crazy. But I might need to look at it a little closer before I decide if we're reading it, because now I'm looking at it closer, and well, so there's this wagon, and the boy gets caught in by the fish. And then here he's on this page, he's not wearing anything. It's not like it's showing anything or whatever, but I'll definitely look at it a little closer before I decide if we're gonna read it or not. Like I said, it was so busy at the thrift store that I was trying so hard to be quick, and so I was just kind of grabbing books without looking at them that closely. So I'll look at this a little closer and decide if we're gonna read it, but it sounded fun, looked fun, and so we'll see about this one. Next, I got a coloring book, a Dover coloring book that's completely uncolored, so that's always a big score, about knights in armor. And this, I mean, seriously, there's not a single mark in it. And I think this one was $1. But we are going to be learning about medieval and knights and castles and all that, probably not until another 1.5 years or so is what I'm anticipating learning about that. So it'll be a little while, but I think I'm going to save it to then because that'll be really fun. Then I got a book about Amelia Earhart, so another one that we don't have a whole lot about, and this is a pretty lengthy book actually. It's got quite a few pages, and the pages have quite a few words on them. So I might give this to my third grader to read, or I might read it aloud to whoever wants to listen, but even just to read it to myself, it looks fun and interesting, and I really like the illustrations. Next, my stack is getting smaller. I got a book called My Great Aunt Arizona, and I've heard of this one before, and I've seen some people share it, and it just looks like a really heartwarming story, reminiscent of simple times gone past, and the illustrations are beautiful. And yeah, I don't even know that much about it. Like I said, I was rushing and trying to hurry, and so I knew I recognized it, and I grabbed it, and still haven't looked through that much, but oh, it just looks so good. So just breezing through, and I see that it says she loves to read and talking about reading books, and so yeah, it's gonna be good. And this one was just 50 cents. Let's see what I got next. Next, got another book that I've heard a lot of good things about, but I haven't read before, and I haven't looked through it that closely, but it is A Sick Day for Amos McGee. It just seems reminiscent of the times when, you know, you get sick and you convalesce in bed, and easy times versus today's world where I feel like so many of us have to just push through being sick, and we carry on, and we're busy, and our lives can't stop for sickness and all that. And so it just looked like a really sweet kind of, I mean, look at that. He's sick, and his elephant friend is visiting him, and they're playing chess in bed. So it looks like a really sweet story. I'm excited to read that with my kids. Then I got a book called Look to the North by Jean Craighead George, and I just know the author, and so I thought, let's try it. The pictures looked really nice. It's just kind of going over, well, like it says, a wolf pup diary, and most anything nature-y and animals is a winner with my kids. We love learning about any of that stuff that we can. So, snagged it. Then, what do I got next? I got this Backpack Explorer Night Walk, and we have the bird one, and now I found this, and just like the other coloring book, nothing marked in it. Not only that, but the stickers in the back are all completely there. But I'm realizing, oh, there's a fold out. Okay, I thought something was ripped, but it's not. It just looks really fun, and it's, you know, fun to read and look at, but it's also got some different activities, you know, mentions night games, and just some fun different stuff, some nighttime creatures. So I know my kids will enjoy this one. Then I got this little Nature Club Trees and Leaves book. That looks, it's just got all kinds of different information about, well, trees and leaves. And I really like these books because I really want to be better at identifying trees and flowers and plants and stuff like that. And so having these books really helps with that, especially when you might have one book and it shows a picture of a certain tree or certain leaf and it looks similar, but it's hard to tell if it's exactly the same because the same trees aren't going to be completely identical. And so having multiple books that show that can really help you. Okay, well, I've got two different pictures in these books with the same leaf and kind of showing them slightly different, and it can, I don't know, just kind of be helpful to have multiple sources. Next, I got Flowers, Trees, and Other Plants, so similar kind of thing, but this one looks like it's got a little more to it, a little more information. And it's a question and answer book, which is neat. I kind of like books like that, where it's got how do seeds grow, and so it's got the question and then it goes over the answer. That's always, I like that format for this kind of book. And then two more. Next one is The Magic School Bus Gets Planted, a book about photosynthesis. I think I've said before that my kids love Magic School Bus, so that'll be fun to learn about with my kids. And then the last one I found was a highlights book of mazes, actually, and again, completely unused, and it just looks like a really fun one. So I'll probably save this for the next time I have a road trip for either my oldest or second oldest, because that'll be really fun. But yeah, so I got all these books, and I actually got a handful of others too. I got a couple, I'll show you real quick. I got a couple for my toddlers that are sound books, and sound still works, so that's always a huge perk. And then I got two books for myself as well. I got a historical fiction called The Bracelet by Dorothy Love, and I have never heard of her before, but it's set in Savannah, Georgia, which is really cool because it's not too far from where we're living now. And then on the front here, it has a quote from Tamara Alexander, and she's an author, a historical fiction author that I really love, and so that's telling me that there's a good chance this will be really good. So that was a good find. And then the last thing I got for myself is Don't Sweat the Small Stuff, and it's all small stuff. These books are really good. They've been around for a little while. I'm not sure when they originally came out. I feel like I remember my parents having some when I was a kid. Yeah, 1997. And I have one other one called Don't Sweat the Small Stuff with Your Family, I think. There's a couple other different ones. And they're just these short little couple page snippets, maybe a page to 3 pages, and become a better listener. And it just kind of talks about that. Let's see, another one says, tell 3 people today how much you love them, and it talks about that. Write down your 5 most stubborn positions and see if you can soften them. Be grateful when you're feeling good and graceful when you're feeling bad. And so it's got just these different little things, and I like starting my day with books like this to read just a couple little excerpts from. I like to do my other morning stuff I do. I like to do my Bible reading or my devotion or whatever. And then this, even though, you know, I can't remember now if the author is a Christian or not. Now, I can't remember if there's been any mention in the ones I've read about God or anything like that. But regardless, it's just such really, really great practical little tidbits to apply and to be thinking on and reminding yourself of just simple ways to keep little things from taking over your life, just like it says. So anyways, always fun when I find lots for my kids, for my bigger kids, my little kids, and something for myself. So you tell me, would you say all that was worth the hour-long wait time and the crazy line? I think it was. I was very happy with everything I got. If you liked the video, then make sure you give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more book hauls and curriculum hauls, if you enjoy seeing homeschooling content, motherhood content, books, anything like that, then make sure to hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you next time.